Hey guys, what's up? Pixels here, and in today's video I'm going to be giving you my best book phase build on Evil Dead the game. So as a lot of you know who plays Survivor, it can be very frustrating losing to the book at the end of the game. And yes, I say book, I don't say book. That's because of my accent. I know you guys like to take the piss out of me about that. But anyways, this build will work on any warrior. I'm just showcasing this on Army of Darkness Ash, of course, because I have in Prestige 5. So I'm going to do the initial 25 points spend, and then I'll show you where to spend the extra 5 points. So people who are new to the characters, who obviously only have them level 25 and don't have them prestige yet, I can give you a build for that, and then you can obviously put the extra points in the extra perks that I have decided to go for in this build. So let's begin anyways. So the first one is Last Word. Obviously we just want 15% extra damage on our final hit damage. It's actually pretty useful at book phase. I did debate on putting this maxed out, but honestly, for where I want to spend my points in and how to keep my character kind of surviving book phase and doing a lot of damage, it wasn't really worth putting the extra 2 points in that. So the next one's just 1 point in Artful Dodger, and we're going to put 4 points into Devastating Force. We're going to come down here, we're going to put 2 points into Seeing Stars, and then we're going to put 1 point into Blunt Force Trauma, and then we're going to buff up Tougher Than Hell too. So with this build, usually when I play Army of Darkness Ash or even Warriors, I like to go for like seasoned survivor stuff like damage reduction, damage reduction, damage reduction. You know, having all the damage stuff like stacked on top of each other, it can be pretty crazy. However, I found that, you know, because I'm quite an experienced player, I know a lot of people aren't going to be as experienced as me as well. But you know, during the early game stuff, I don't really have an issue surviving. You know, going up against basic possessed units or even boss units for that matter. And honestly, I thought, you know, just going for like overall health, you know, having like 20% health. So usually my build would be like 10% health like that. And then, you know, I'd start going over here and start putting in some, you know, damage reduction on top of that. And the reason you do that is because you kind of get the free health benefits without having to spend, you know, your support characters having to spend extra in healing you. So you basically do get like 23% health there without the buff of Industrial Strength. However, because of this being a book phase build, I decided just to buff up maximum health, right? Like, so then I just got an overall against, you know, AI units, possessed units, all that good stuff. So I just have a lot more damage being able to be taken on my character from there. But anyways, that's just a quick description on why I've gone for Industrial Strength here instead of any seasoned survivor stuff. So now we're going to put 3 points into Heavy Hitter, and then we're going to come down here, put 1 point into Fighting Shape, 2 points into Stunning Strikes, 1 point into One-Handed Weapon Mastery, and then we're going to put the final 3 points into Two-Handed Weapon Mastery there. So as you can see here, when we've designed this build, of course we only have 1 point in Artful Dodger. Again, we're going to get 2 dodges with that. That's more than enough. And of course, we're going to have a 20% maximum health increase, which is great too. You know, coming down here, Seeing Stars, you're going to get 10% balance bar damage there, and you're going to get a 10% balance bar damage there as well when you do a heavy attack. So overall, you're going to be getting a nice spicy 20% balance bar damage. And you know, I did debate on, you know, taking a point out there and just going for an overall 15%, but I thought, you know, 20% is going to be much better, especially primarily at book phase. You're going to be swinging heavy attacks, and, you know, the best weapon for this is a lumberjack axe too. And, you know, I've found, you know, using a lumberjack axe or, you know, even a sledgehammer or something like two-handed like that can really destroy possessed units. And that's the key thing here for book phase, you know, just doing a lot of damage and a lot of balance bar damage. And you know, like I said, I have no problems like using this type of build early game. So it just didn't make sense to me, you know, to start doing stuff like Reinforced Amulet, like, you know, spamming finishes on this guy, because right now the meta is for demons primarily going for the book phase stuff. And honestly, this works really well against Plaguebringers as well, early game and mid game stuff, because, you know, Plaguebringer is probably the best demon to play against right now, or the hardest demon to play against. So, you know, coping against Plaguebringer with this build is definitely not a bad option as well. And, you know, if you're a warrior and you have 3 Shemps and you start drinking the Shemps too, so Shemps will restore 50% of your health no matter what it is. So it doesn't matter how much health you have on your character, you will get 50%. However, if you're playing with a support character, the percentage is different. That's why I say, you know, one point in Industrial Strength can be a bit different to having obviously 3 points in there. But like I said, just having overall tanky health with this character or in a warrior in general is very helpful. And of course, this is the primary thing here, is doing a lot of damage. So with Heavy Hitter, we got 15% there. And then Two-Handed Weapon Mastery, you've got another 15%. So, you know, we've got quite a lot of heavy damage stacked up. And again, this is all you want to be doing at book phase, is swinging heavy attacks, and that's the priority there. So now I'm going to tell you guys where to spend the extra points. So basically, I buff up balance bar damage straight away. So obviously, the more heavy attacks I'm doing, the more balance bar damage I'm doing now as well. So I'm doing a lot of balance bar damage, and I'm doing a lot of health damage to the possessed units too, and that is just going to totally wipe them out of book phase as well. And again, this helps really early game and late game, mid game stuff as well, not just at book phase. So don't worry if you think you're going to be a bit too squishy. The balance bar is definitely going to come in clutch for you guys quite a lot for stunning units. And then with the extra 3 points, what I actually like to do is put in 2 in an Artful Dodger, and then put in the extra industrial strength. So now we actually have, with Artful Dodger being 3 and 3, you kind of get 3 dodges. It's like 2, and then like you wait a second, then you get 3, and this really helps out doing heavy combat. So if you're swinging the lumberjack axe around, you know, you're feeling a bit vulnerable, you get that freedom to kind of dodge away a lot more, having the 3 and 3 an Artful Dodger. And now, of course, just an extra point in industrial strength to get a maximum of 25% health over every unit in the game. And the reason why I like Artful Dodger on this build, and I have tested other things out, you know, I've done this where instead of going for those 3 points there, I've done like Reinforced Amulet. Honestly, I just never really seen a benefit of having Reinforced Amulet compared to having more health in this build. So what I decided to do was have an extra sort of dodge and then have extra health there. And this, like I said, it works well against Plaguebringer, because with that dodge, you can kind of catch up to the boss unit and deal with the boss unit a lot easier too, which is really, really great. And it helps against the pesky elite units that are such a big problem against Plaguebringer. So now I'm going to tell you guys how to spend the pink fuck on this build. So the priority here is stamina first, and then going melee. So the reason I go melee first is, you know, I just want to have the fast attack speed as soon as possible. As long as I get, you know, a lumberjack axe or even a sword or something like that early game, I'm not really worried about me taking too much damage, because, you know, the demon's quite weak early game, and if I can take them out relatively fast, then that's going to help me out greatly there. You know, there is the option to go for shield first if you want, playing Army of Darkness Ash, so you can get the finishes and buff up your shield. Of course, there's nothing wrong with doing that as well. However, like I said, I don't really have an issue here surviving against demons early game. So once you get a mid game, that's more or less when you want to start buffing up your shield. So I buff my shield up mid game, so that would be my third option, and then my health is my last option there. And once I've got my health maxed out as much as possible, that really helps out at book phase too, because I can just take a lot of damage, and, you know, I can step back for a second, drink a cola, or let my support give me a cola. A little bit more healing there is always appreciated on a warrior as well. Like I said, it's going to be harder for your healers or your support characters to actually heal you up to full health using industrial strength and maxed out pink fuck upgrades on the health track. However, I found it's a lot more beneficial than having some reinforced amulet going up against demons at the book phase as well. So anyways, I'm going to leave it there, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the build. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. And I'll give you guys a few pointers on, you know, kind of countering the book phase. I'm going to do a whole video around, you know, how to counter book phase against certain demons like Plaguebringer and Elagos, how to do it efficiently as possible. Mainly playing warrior for that as well. And maybe we'll even showcase how to do it for leader, hunter, and support too. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Leave me a like, hit that sub button if you're new to the channel for more videos like this. I do stream this game Monday to Thursday at 1 PM on my channel, UK time that is, so you don't have to go anywhere else for Evil Dead content. And I have been Pixels, you're my awesome viewers. I'll catch you guys in the next one.